Hello friends, let us now learn some important points about immunodeficiency disorders. Okay, immunodeficiency disorders can be divided into two types. One, we have primary immunodeficiency disorders, and second we have secondary immunodeficiency disorders. Primary immunodeficiency disorders can be due to malnutrition, they can be due to HIV or AIDS, cancers, and chemotherapy and radiotherapy. All these are responsible for primary immunodeficiency disorders. Now, first we will learn some important classification of immunodeficiency disorders. First we will see primary immunodeficiency disorders. Okay, first the primary immunodeficiency disorders. Primary immunodeficiency disorders, these are divided into mainly three types. Okay, these primary immunodeficiency disorders can be due to this occurs whenever there is defect in lymphocyte maturation defects, or there can be due to the defect in lymphocyte activation and function defect. When there is defect in any systemic disease can also result in primary immunodeficiency disorder. So if you see the defect in lymphocyte maturation defect, this can be due to severe combined immunodeficiency, Bruton's A gamma globinopathy, Dye-George syndrome, and other lymphocytic syndromes. Okay, first we will see about severe combined immunodeficiency. So in severe combined, first we will see the severe combined immunodeficiency. In this severe combined immunodeficiency, it is of two types. It is either X-linked recessive immunodeficiency, or it can be autosomal recessive immunodeficiency. If it is X-linked recessive immunodeficiency, this occurs due to the gamma subunit of cytochrome receptor issues. Okay, gamma subunit of cytochrome receptor is defective here. So in this X-linked recessive disorders, interleukin 2, interleukin 4, 7 and 15, all these are defective, and as a result, whenever these interleukins are defective, there is no formation of NK cells, there is no formation of T cells, and there is no production of immunoglobulin also. So here in X-linked recessive, the gamma subunit of cytokine receptors are defective, like interleukin 2, interleukin 4, 7, 15 receptors. So as a result, there is no production of NK cells or T cells or immunoglobulins. Next we will see the autosomal recessive. Autosomal recessive form type of severe combined immunodeficiency. In this we have two things. One, we have ADA deficiency, that is adenosine deaminase deficiency. This is the most common autosomal recessive severe combined immunodeficiency. Here, because of the adenosine deaminase deficiency, a compound called as deoxyadenosine will accumulate in our body, and this deoxyadenosine is actually toxic to our body. Thus it will kill B cells, T cells and NK cells, thus decreasing the cell mediated immune receptors. Then if you see, the next thing we have is JAK3 mutations. Okay, in JAK3 defect, there is in JAK3 defect we have gamma C. Gamma receptors are present. So this will activate JAK3, which will result in interleukin formation. But if there is this gamma C is normal, but here there is defect in this JAK3. Because of the defect in JAK3, interleukin 2, 7, 15 are not produced, and as a result no T cells or NK cells are produced. Okay, then we have one more important thing in autosomal recessive type. The third type we have is recombinant activated gene. There is defect in recombinant activation gene defect is seen. That means in this the RAG1 and RAG2 are defective. Because these RAG1 and RAG2 recombinant activation gene 1 and 2 actually they activate B cell receptor and T cell receptor. If there is defect in these, this will result in no B cells, no T cells, but NK cells are present. So this is recombinant activation gene, which is RAG1 and RAG2. So at the end, if you revise this, at the end if we see totally, whenever there is severe combined immunodeficiency, the cause can be anything, but there is no B cells, no T cells and no NK cells. Okay, in these T cells, B cells and NK cells are absent in autosomal recessive form and in adenosine deaminase deficiency, whereas the T cells and NK cells are absent, but B cells are present in two forms. One, X-linked recessive forms, we have B cells are present, but autosomal recessive JAK3 type, we have B cells are present, T cells or NK cells are absent. Whereas the third type, where B cells and T cells are absent, but NK cells are present, this is seen in autosomal recessive and RAG1 and 2. In these cases, we will see B cells and NK cells are absent, B cells and T cells are absent, NK cells are present. I will just show you this once more, okay, so that first we will understand clearly. In severe combined immunodeficiency, we have two things, one, X-linked recessive and autosomal recessive forms. In X-linked recessive, there is a defect in gamma subunit of cytochrome receptor. Okay, whenever there is defect in gamma subunit of cytokine receptor, this will result in decreased production of interleukin 1, interleukin 2, interleukin 4, interleukin 7 and interleukin 15. So as a result, there is no immunoglobulins, no NK cells and no T cells, but here B cells are present. Then we have second type, where there is autosomal recessive type. In the autosomal recessive type, the first one is ADA deficiency. Here adenosine deaminase deficiency, so deoxyadenosine will accumulate, so this leads to the toxic production. So there is no B cells, no T cells and no NK cells are seen, right? Then we have the next second disease. In the second defect, this is also an autosomal recessive type only, but here there is JAK3 defect. Normally the gamma subunit of cytokines will activate JAK3, which will result in the production of interleukin 2, 7 and 15. 2, 4, 7 and 15. But here, due to the defect in this JAK3 is defective, so as a result there is no formation of NK cells and T cells, but B cells are present. Then we have next, where this is autosomal recessive type, third type, where there is defect in recombinant activation genes, which will lead to defective B cell and T cell receptors, and as a result there is a defect in B cell and T cell, thus but NK cells are present. So at the end here, if you see, there is three groups. One, all B cells and T cells are absent, and will along with absence of NK cells seen in autosomal recessive and adenosine deaminase deficiency. Then only T cells and NK cells are absent, but B cells are present. This is seen in X-linked recessive or autosomal recessive form with JAK3 mutation. B cells and T cells are absent, but NK cells are present. This is seen in autosomal recessive RAG1 and 2 types. Right? Now, if you see the clinical features, now the patient presents with morbilliform rash. There will be oral thrush is seen due to candidiasis can occur, and in the womb the T cells of the mother can enter the child, and it can attack the skin, it can attack the liver, and it can also attack the intestines, thus resulting in graft versus host disease. And one important thing is this severe combined immunodeficiency, it is the first disease to be treated with gene therapy. Okay, so this is about severe combined immunodeficiency. Then if you see, the second thing is we have Bruton's A gamma globulinemia or hypogammaglobulinemia. So in this Bruton's A gamma or hypogammaglobulinemia, here this is an X-linked inheritance where there is A is absence of gamma globulins, that is IgG is absent in the blood, or it is decreased if it is hypogammaglobulinemia. So in X-linked agammaglobulinemia or hypogammaglobulinemia, it is most commonly seen in boys. Here there is a mutation which is BTK gene mutation is seen. Normally if you see, we have pro or pre T cells. These pro or pre B cells will get converted to mature B cells. Pro or pre B cells get converted to mature B cells, which gives rise to plasma cells. Right? For the conversion of pro B cells to mature B cells, we require this gene BKT gene. But if there is mutation in this gene, so this process of pro B cells, pro and pre B cells conversion to mature B cells is hampered, and as a result there are no plasma cells, obviously there are no immunoglobulins. Now this will result in clinical features like there will be recurrent lower respiratory tract infections, and there will be enteroviral virus infections like poliovirus, echovirus or Coxsackie virus infections are seen. So in these patients, never and never give polio live vaccine. If you give polio live vaccine, because of this immunodeficiency, this virus which you are giving, this will result in paralytic polio. So this is about agammaglobulinemia, Bruton's agammaglobulinemia. Then we have Dye-George syndrome. In Dye-George syndrome, in this first we have, this occurs due to the deletion of 22q11 chromosome. This 22q11 chromosome will code for TBX1 gene. Whenever there is deletion, this gene will not be there. This is actually a neural crest cell. This TBX1 gene is a neural crest cell. Okay, this is responsible for formation of third and fourth pharyngeal pouch. But now because this TBX gene is not functioning properly, so this pouch is also not functioning properly. So this pouch will give rise to thymus and parathyroid. So as a result, in patients with Dye-George syndrome, there is absence of thymus and there is absence of parathyroid is seen. So if we see if we see what is the clinical features. Clinical features can be given by the mnemonic CATCH22. So here there is C for cleft lip and cleft palate, whereas A for abnormal facies are seen. Then we have T for thymic aplasia. This, whenever there is thymic hypoplasia or aplasia, thymus is a site for maturation of T cells, so there is defect in T cells. Whereas there is heart defect where there is formation of tetralogy of Fallot, cardiac defects are seen. Hypocalcemia is seen. Obviously 22 is deletion of 22 on chromosome Q22, chromosome Q11. Okay, so how are you going to diagnose this Dye-George syndrome? It is diagnosed with the help of fluorescent in situ hybridization. Right now, so this is about the immunodeficiency disorders with defective lymphocyte maturation. Now if you see the next, we have the next immunodeficiency disorders which show defect in lymphocyte activation and function. These defects in lymphocyte activation and function include, we have severe combined immunodeficiency, hyper IgM syndrome. This also includes isolated IgA syndrome, and it also includes XLP disorder. Okay, first we will see the CVID, that is common variable immunodeficiency. This common variable immunodeficiency is an autosomal recessive disorder which is seen both in males and females. In common variable immunodeficiency disorders, normally for conversion of B cells to plasma cells, we require a gene, BAFF gene. But in this, normally when BAFF gene is there, this will convert the B cells to plasma cells, and as a result these plasma cells will later produce immunoglobulins, right? But now here the problem is in this gene. So B cells are not converted into plasma cells, and as a result there is increased B cells are seen. So you will see there is increased germinal centers are seen, and because of this not conversion, plasma cells are decreased. This will result in decreased immunity, leading to severe repetitive infections with enterovirus, giardia and herpes infections are seen. Okay, so this is common variable immunodeficiency. What is this? Common variable immunodeficiency. Okay, right. So here, because of this common variable immunodeficiency, there is both deficiency of B cells are seen. One, there is B cells deficient, B cells are increased actually, and plasma cells are decreased, and along with that there is absence of inducible co-stimulator. The inducible co-stimulator which will stimulate T cells, that is which will stimulate T cells with CD40 ligand. This is also defective. Okay, so this is defective in severe combined variable immunodeficiency. So we will see the differences between the Bruton A gamma globulinemia and common variable immunodeficiency. See, if you see, the pre-B cells will get converted to B cells, which will get converted to plasma cells. These plasma cells will produce the immunoglobulin. This conversion of pre-B cells to B cells require BTK gene, whereas conversion of B cells to plasma cells require BAF gene. Now, if there is defect in conversion of B cells to pre-B cells to B cells, this is Bruton's hypogammaglobulinemia. And here, if there is defect in conversion of B cells to plasma cells because of defect in BAFF, it results in severe combined variable immunodeficiency. Combined variable immunodeficiency. So B cells only in Bruton cells only the B cells are defective. In this both B cells and T cells are defective. This is seen, Bruton's is mostly seen in boys and it is early, and here this is seen in both boys and girls and it is late. In both these we will see Giardia infection, upper or lower respiratory tract infections and enterovirus infections are seen both in Bruton's and combined variable immunodeficiency. Right. So next we will see the next group of disorders, which is due to systemic disease. Immunodeficiency disorders due to systemic disease, which includes Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome, ataxia, telangiectasia. So first we have Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome. In Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome, here the defect is in the genes, which is WASP gene defect is seen, which is present on XP chromosome. So as a result, this Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome, here the immunoglobulin profile has been defective. So here there is WASP gene defect, which is X-linked. This is X-linked disorder, and here because of this you will see three things will occur. One, there will be, if you see the clinical features, it is a triad. The triad of Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome is presence of recurrent infections are seen, and there is presence of recurrent infections. Then we have eczema is seen, and you see bleeding is seen. Here there is increased IgA is seen, and there is decreased IgM, whereas IgG is normal. Okay, so this is about the Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome. One more important thing is here platelet size is decreased, and even platelet count is also decreased. That is the reason for bleeding. Next we will learn about hyper IgM disease. Okay, in hyper IgM disease, here this occurs most commonly due to CD40 ligand defect, whereas the second most common defect is CD40 receptor defect. Okay, it can be one CD40 ligand defect or CD40 receptor defect. If you remember, this is the B cell, this is the T cell. The B cell has a receptor, that is CD40 receptor is present in B cell, and T cell will have a ligand, that is CD40 ligand is present on T cell. Okay, when these both interact with each other, this will result in isotype switching on the B cells. See, B cells will have two receptors, one is IgD and there is IgM are present in the B cells. But for activation and for proper activation, we need presence of all the 5 immunoglobulins. So this will result in isotype class switching, where IgM and IgD will get converted to IgG, IgA and E. But here there is defect in either the CD40 receptor or CD40 ligand. Most commonly there is defect in CD40 ligand, and as a result this isotype class switching does not occur. This leads to decrease in IgG, IgA and IgE, and this leads to increase in IgM and IgD. Mainly there is increased IgM, so it is called as hyper IgM disorder. Right. Next, if you see next, I will draw flow cytometry picture. Okay, flow cytometry picture for this hyper IgM disorder. So here if you see, this is how flow cytometry will be there. This is here on the Y axis you have CD134, on the X axis we have CD19. Okay, sorry, this is CD154. right. Now you will see the cells seen to be here. Some cells you will see here and here, if this was given like this. Okay, so now this CD154 is nothing but CD40 ligand. Okay, this CD154 is CD40 ligand. So if you see in normal B cells, you will see both. You will see CD40 ligand will be positive and CD19 ligand will be positive. Sorry, CD19 will be positive. So here if you see, this CD40 ligand is positive and CD19 is also positive. So this is normal B cells. These are normal. But here if you see, there is CD19 positive but CD154 negative. right? So this is the picture of hyper IgM syndrome. Right. So the next thing, if you see, right now, if you see the next disorder is isolated IgA deficiency. In isolated IgA deficiency, there is defect in only IgA. This isolated IgA deficiency can be either due to isolated disease or it can be due to combined variable immunodeficiency. This will result in respiratory infections, or it can result in diarrhea, and it can also result in these are the diseases which it can result. Next we have one more thing, which is X-linked lymphoproliferative disorder. We have X-linked lymphoproliferative disorder. In X-linked lymphoproliferative disorder, this occurs due to the defect in SLAM activating protein. That is, what is this SLAM? SLAM is signal lymphocyte activating molecule. This occurs due to signal lymphocyte activating molecule. Here there is no B cells, no T cells, and no NK cells. Okay, so this is important about X-linked lymphoproliferative disorder. Thank you for watching.